His breathing hastened. He turned and ran in the same direction he had come. He ran. The road has not yet been completed. He felt like he was walking in the same place. He used all his strength. At last he reached the end of the road. He was breathing. He came back to the village. He looked around the house. There was fire. He ran to his house and knocked on the door. The door opened. Her father was standing there. She looked at him with the same old eyes. Where did Shiva go? Are you up all night, Grandma? I went to the 3rd Street. Grandma looked at him fondly and smiled gently. Son, you've just been asleep. It wasn't even midnight yet. Shiva looked at the clock. It was actually 12 o'clock at night. He had woken up some time ago. But he thought he'd been gone for hours. Could it have been a dream? She looked at her mother. There was a calm expression on his face. He immediately went to bed and slept. The next morning the village was bright with the light of the sun. Shiva got up and sat down to eat. How did you sleep? Asked his mother. It was okay, Grandma. But he still had the night in his mind. He was a little flustered. In the evening, Shiva went out to play. He reached the edge of the village. While playing he saw the 3rd one. A strange uneasiness crept into his mind. He returned home. But then the same voice sounded in his ears. When Shiva turned his head, so there was no one. But his voice was clear. He understood. That night was not a dream. That night, the moon was hidden behind the clouds. There was an eerie silence in the air. He wasn't asleep. Only the 3rd Street was moving in his mind. Her little heart made a decision. He slowly got up, opened the door, and slipped into the darkness of the night. Her thin shadow moved forward, dancing on the muddy streets of the village. He passed through the 1st Street, then the 2nd, and then he saw the 3rd Street. It was really different. There were other houses on the street. There was a bright light. The 3rd floor was completely black. Like someone wearing a blanket of darkness. The acacia trees looked like the fingers of a demon calling out to him. He gathered courage and took a step forward. As soon as he entered the street, a strange coldness surrounded him. The air froze. The rustling of leaves has also stopped. The sound just got louder. You came. And again the story started from where it ended last night. Shiva was again trapped in the Chakravyuh of the same 3rd Street. Where time stood still and the same night repeated over and over again forever. And the old elders in the village even today used to say, do not go to the 3rd Street of the village. Time stops there. How did you like this story? Be sure to like the video and subscribe to our channel if you enjoyed it. A village which was known as Andheri. Where the sunlight was also very scary. Everything was slow here. It was so slow that even the sound of falling leaves could be heard. There was an old tree in the middle of the village, under which often old people used to sit and narrate stories. This was one of those stories. The 3rd Street of the village. There were only 3 houses in the village. The first road leads to the temple. No one used to talk about the second market side and the 3rd Street. It wasn't that the street didn't exist. But the villagers ignored it. It's like a bad memory. There were no houses on the street. There were just thick acacia trees on both sides and an old dry well at the end. Shiva, the youngest child of the village, was very mischievous. His eyes were always shining and there were thousands of questions in his mind. When the old elders used to talk about the 3rd Street, they used to become silent after seeing it, then Shiva's mind became even more disturbed. What's that on 3rd Street? He asks his grandmother. Why didn't you tell me? Grandma takes a deep breath. There's a strange ringing in his voice. Don't go down that street. Time stops there. In the little eyes of Shiva, curiosity fills in place of fear. When Shiva speaks, time stops. But how? Grandma would just shake her head and get lost in the other stories. One night, the moon was hidden behind the clouds. There was an eerie silence in the air. He wasn't asleep. Only the third street was moving in his mind. Her little heart made a decision. He slowly crept up. He opened the door and plunged into the silence of the night. Her thin shadow moved forward, dancing on the muddy fields of the village. He passed through the first street. Then from the second, and then he saw the third street. It was really different. There were other houses on the street. There were bright lights on both sides of the road. The third floor was completely black. Like someone wearing a blanket of darkness. The acacia trees looked like the fingers of a demon calling out to him. The steps of Shiva slowly receded. A small voice whispered in his ear. As if someone is calling from far away. The sound was so clear that Shiva got goosebumps. He gathered courage and took a step forward. As he entered the street, a strange coldness surrounded him. Such a coldness had never been felt in the village. The air froze. The rustling of leaves has also stopped. It just got louder and louder. You came. You came. Shiva continued. The road was getting longer and longer, as if there was no end to it. The acacia trees grew thicker. The whisper was now clearly audible in his ears. Let us show you. A bright light suddenly appeared in front of him. The light was coming from the well. He ran towards the light. As soon as he reached the well, the light disappeared. The well was deep black, as if it was the path to the underworld. A cold wind suddenly blew in his face. He got scared and ran away.